Hi there, I'm Sipka, and this is the Apatros Review. Now before I go on with this episode, I'd like to give a shout out to one of my channels I've subscribed to called Konovark. Now Konovark is a channel that basically does stories on tanks, like he reviews tanks and a little bit of historical stuff about tanks, also fictional tanks as well. So he's a bit of a tank expert. So look up his channel, you'll be impressed. Anyway, now in this episode we take a look at a film called Cyber-C.H.I.C, also known as ROBO-Chick. That's Cyber with C-H-I-C, Chick, no K. Now this was directed by Ed Hansen, Jeffrey Mandel in the year 1990. Actually, Ed Hansen and Jeffrey Mandel wrote and directed the film. The story was done by John Fitzgerald and Mika Fitzgerald and produced by Mark Paglia and Douglas Grimm. The cast include Kathy Shower, who was a Playboy playmate at one time, and Jennifer Daly, Kip King, Ransom Baker, and Burt Ward. Yeah, Robin from the 60s Batman TV series. Now the film was direct-to-video and it came out in the United States on the 9th of August 1990 and in Germany direct-to-video in January 1991. It was sometime in around late 1990, early 1991 that the film came into Australia as well, although I don't have a precise date on that one. And by the way, while this infantile B film was released onto VHS in the United States, Germany and Australia, I actually once had the Australian VHS. I bought it back in 2004. I bought it at a video source Fireside, but I was unable to watch it then. Now, it has apparently never had a DVD release so far. Apparently nobody gave enough of a shit to request one. If you do want to watch this glorious dumpster fire of a sci-fi comedy, and you don't want to go to the trouble of tracking down a VHS, there is a print on YouTube that is uncut from Channel Zero, so you'll be happy with that one. Now, the surprise emergence of the direct-to-video market in the late 1980s, early 1990s was something that caught the major studios off guard a fair bit, as once the direct-to-video industry really got their gear on, about half of video store rental business was going to the studios that worked solely manufacturing films, destined to go straight to VHS release instead of taking their chances of theatrical release. Studios like New Image, Royal Oaks, and the legendary PM Entertainment made their name in direct-to-video action B flicks, which were popular with the video store crowd back in the 1990s. But the direct-to-video industry had something of a rough start. The first films ever to see direct-to-video release was the 5-picture deal that gay hardcore erotica director Tim Kincaid signed with Charles Band to supply Band's then VHS distribution business Wizard Video with films solely for VHS release. Band had at the time gotten some extremely bad fortune dealing with dishonest distributors when trying to get his movies released onto cinema screens, and which prompted him to come up with a direct-to-video business model in the first place. When the day comes that Charles Band finally passes on from this life, the direct-to-video industry will have lost its founder. Now, these 5 films, 4 of which Kincaid directed himself, were extremely cheap and extremely atrocious. I reviewed 3 of them so far. Now, with the exception of Necropolis, the one film that Kincaid did not direct, which had a certain trash attitude and what the fuck value, to help gain a little reputation to the fact that Band commissioned the remake nearly 30 years later, but as time went on, the quality of the films that saw a direct-to-video release started getting more technically polished and therefore more enjoyable. In 1990, the company AIP, which was Roger Corman's old company, decided to release a science fiction comedy movie called Cyber-C.H.I.C, although it was known in Australia as ROBO-Chick, for the direct-to-video market. The film was promptly forgotten about and did very little business. In the film, former Playboy playmate Kathy Shower, who was also the executive producer of the film, she quit the film shortly after shooting began, forcing her role to be filled in by another actress, the difference being quite noticeable if you're paying attention. Now, she plays what I assume to be a female robot. Now, there is a line of dialogue in the film that claims that this fembot has organic augmentation, so it is possible she may be a cyborg, but since nothing else is said about this, the most likely prognosis is that she is at the very least an android. Now, this robot is called the Robo Computerized Humanoid Intelligence Clone, or ROBO-Chick for short. A real mouthful of an acronym, that's for sure. Closer rota. Created by a real doofus of a mad scientist who wants to make a superhero. He has kitted her out with a built-in police scanner, so she can call the cops for her head for a radio transmitter, and which she does early on in the film, and laser emitters in her fingers, so she can basically shoot lasers out of her fingers. The scientist sends this somewhat clueless female creation out to fight crime at the same time a geekish taxidermist with an interest in building nuclear bombs contacts the local news station, telling them to grant his demands. He wants money, girls, and a chance to disappear. Otherwise, he will let the bombs detonate. In fact, the only way to stop the bombs is for him to send a signal, and he has arranged the bombs in a certain way that only he knows how to deactivate the bombs. And at the same time, another mad scientist wants to use the situation to his advantage, and the local crime boss, who is angry that his men keep getting arrested, tries to find a way to stop RoboChick. And to add to that, the local police, the chief of police, decides to make his move again and get elected as police governor. As a bad movie masochist, I've seen some real trash in my time, believe you me. But this 1990 direct-to-video turkey, made at a time when direct-to-video movies were missing 4 of the cans of beer needed to make a mental six-pack, because very few people at the time took direct-to-video films seriously at all, was a ridiculously atrocious and a real contender to be one of the worst synthetica I've ever seen. For starters, the female lead, Kathy Shower, is replaced by a different actress early on, and like I said, the difference is pretty easy to spot if you're paying a fair degree of attention, which isn't exactly on its own a deal breaker, but it does detract from the experience a little. Coupled with some bad acting and some of the worst dialogue I've ever heard. One prized bit of howlingly bad speech is at the very beginning of the film, where a somewhat dim-witted female TV news anchor has a very stupid argument with a producer over the pronunciation of a certain word, comescenti. What the hell does comescenti mean anyway? Right before she's due to go live on air. All the time you're sitting there thinking, what kind of escaped mental patient wrote this script? And it only gets worse from there. Now, despite being billed by some people as a sci-fi action comedy, there is virtually no action here. Okay, maybe one car chase and a couple explosions, maybe, but nothing to earn the action movie genre tag here. And as a comedy, it falls even harder on its stupid ass, as the jokes here are all in the region of stupidity that you have to have the brain power of a prozoa that has been out all night drinking from a puddle in the street that's filled with a drunk person's piss in order to find these asinine jokes amusing at all. The visual effects are basic, and the scene where the idiot of a police chief blows up the gangster's helicopter by accident, I'll have more to say about this momentarily, was stupid beyond belief. I had the chance to watch this movie back in 2004 when I bought it on a used ex-rental VHS tape from a video store in County Heights that was going out of business, about maybe like 10-15 minutes away from my house. But my parents trashed the tape before I could watch it. It wasn't until the night I did this review that I finally saw it for YouTube. Man, what a fucking joke of a film. Cyber-C.H.I.C, or RoboChick, whichever title you prefer, is stuck at the bottom of my grading light of a D- 1 out of 10, meaning it's a piece of shit. Now for gore. No gore, but the scene where the police chief blows up that bad guy's helicopter was extremely stupid, as the guy accidentally fired his rocket launcher while running. His rocket launcher was like this, next to his head, and the bottom was aiming at the ground, which would have killed him from the back blast alone. Plus, the rocket doesn't actually blow up the chopper, just hits the helicopter, like it just puff smoke on the engine, and it doesn't blow up the helicopter, just causes the helicopter to be out of control and crash into the ground, then go kablooey. Now, as for nudity, you'll have more luck here. There are some boobs and buns from at least half a dozen women. I'm surprised the movie wasn't age restricted on YouTube, but in the fembot for heroine shows off her tits and ass at a couple early scenes, courtesy of a body double. But a nice body double at the very least. Okay, so Cyber-C.H.I.C gets D- 1 out of 10. It's pathetic. And like I said, there hasn't been any DVD release of this film I know so far. It's only been released on VHS, and there is a print on YouTube that's uncut. Just look for the channel called Channel 0, and they'll have a print of it there. That's uncut. And also a little trailer on the beginning because it's a VHS rip. Okay, hope you guys are staying safe. Remember, if you want really good videos on tanks and tank history, check out Cone of Arc. Okay. That's a shout out to Cone of Arc, anyway. I wish I could have done a much better review, but I'll do it next time. Anyway. Okay, hope you guys are staying safe. Take it easy, and oh, by the way, I don't do requests, but if you have any questions about DVDs and films in general, just hit me up in the comment section. I'll be happy to answer. See you guys.